Sorry for texting you while you're at work, Harper. I hope this is okay right now.
You're fine right now. I'm just getting ready to have lunch and everything. What's up? You want to ask me something? I've never been asked anything by you before, Parker. You must really need my help then.
Well, I have something to ask regarding Ashley.
Ashley? Is this something about the two of you getting into a fight again?
I don't think it's gotten as far as a full-blown fight or anything.
What does that even mean? What the hell happened?
Well, I think you know that Ashley has quite a sense for a particular fashion, right?
Do you mean that she really likes wearing flashy clothing? I've always thought she looked great always dressing up that much. It matches her personality really well.
Well, I'm sure from your point of view she looks great and all. And trust me, I like the way she looks in all that clothing as well. But that kind of fashion costs a lot of money. Things are starting to become tight.
Is that so? But when I had spoken to Ashley before, she told me that you guys were doing all right and that she was fine with the clothing that she already had. I don't think she ever acted like she was always going out to buy new things all the time for herself.
Well, that's just her talking about the clothes. When you add in the cost of all the hair and skin treatments she gets, and her trips to get her nails and makeup done, it all begins to really add up. And she's also buying all these special diet kits that cost a bunch of money.
Well, it is said that us women cost a lot more money than men. How about you just accept that this is all a part of who she is? I mean, you can ask my husband and he'll tell you the same thing about how much my beauty and health products all cost.
Well, the problem is that she's spending way too much on all of this, and it's going to be a problem for me. It's because of her that every month I'm going into debt paying for other things that we need to live.
I see. That amount of spending definitely is a problem then. Although I don't think she should be going to the salon every month, right?
Well, she's different than most women. Of course, if I was making just a bit more every month, I'd be fine with her spending all she wants, but I really don't have that kind of money. I even asked her before that I want us to take a break on spending for a little while to save up money. But I can see she didn't really catch what I meant by that.
Who's the one in charge of paying the bills every month?
I've noticed that she doesn't understand how much she's spending, so I've been the one in charge of the money.
Well, if that's the case, then you should be able to control how much she's allowed to spend, right? You know, give her an allowance every month and tell her that's all she gets.
Yes, but I'm also giving her money to go out and eat and for other things in the house. But every month she's telling me that I'm not giving her enough and I end up having to give her more. I've warned her multiple times now that I can't keep giving more and more away to her. But she'll just get into these childish moods and we'll end up not even doing chores or cooking until I give her the money.
Well, that's not very good at all, huh? Wait, is Ashley working her own part-time job now as well?
Well, if she was working her own job, we wouldn't be having this problem right now. I never thought while dating her that she turned out to be this much of a spender. If this were going to be the case for us as a couple, I never would have married her.
And it's only been a year now since you two got married, right? This didn't all just happen overnight, right?
I know. I started to notice all of this about 6 months ago. Since then, I've been trying to help the situation by using some of the money from my savings account and all. But now, I don't really have any money left in my savings. So, I've had to start using multiple credit cards that I carry to be able to keep us from going under.
You've had to give up that much? You really dug yourself a hole by using up all that money as well.
Harper, I plan to stop giving her any more money. But during this time, I'd like your help dealing with her. Right now, it's just too much for only me to handle. And I really don't have any more money this month.
Do you need some money from me?
Yes, please. At least to start, can you give me $500?
$500, huh? Alright, that's fine.
Really?
You're in trouble, correct? And also, it's rare that you ever come to me for anything anymore. But I'm going to have to tell my husband about this, okay? I'll have to give up some money from our account, so he needs to know or else we'll both get in trouble.
Alright, you can go ahead and do that. Thank you so much, Harper. Ashley's parents aren't around anymore for me to get help from. And if I ask Mom and Dad about this, they might start to change their minds about her.
Well, you have a good point.
Mom would probably tell me to divorce her or something. And she might even take things into her own hands and confront Ashley about all of this. So I had to come to you because I know you won't act crazy about all of it.
But if Ashley continues to spend like she is now, you might actually have to start thinking about divorce, okay?
I know that, but I don't have any other complaints about her. So as long as we can fix her spending issues, she'll be perfect for me. I love spending time with her now, and her cooking is delicious. She's even really good at taking care of the chores while I'm at work, and we just mesh so well. I've really been wishing that I just made enough to allow her to spend as much as she does now. Maybe even then, she'd only begin to spend more money, and I'd be having the same problem again.
Well then, I hope you can fix this issue you both are having. I'm sure this will all be tough for you, but you have to talk with her again about this. And if she still doesn't manage to understand the problem, you might have to really think of your other options.
Yes, I know. When that time comes, I'll make sure to be prepared for it. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to keep you updated about all of this. I'm sorry, Harper. Do you think you could give me $1,000?
Wait, $1,000? Does this still have to do with Ashley? Didn't I tell you to talk with her in person last month? I said that by confronting her again about her spending would help the situation, right?
Well, I listened to what you told me back then, but it looked like she was using our credit card.
And what did Ashley end up saying?
Well, she started out by apologizing to me, but I might have been too strong in what I was saying to her, and now she's locked herself in the bedroom.
I think your best bet is to get that credit card away from her.
Yeah, and that's what I'm planning to do soon. But I'm going to have to pay off all the money she spent on that card. And this month I'm going to be $1,000 short.
Alright, I'll give you the $1,000. But don't you think Ashley's acting a bit strange about all of this? Maybe you could say she's mentally ill or something like that.
Mentally ill?
Some people say that you can become addicted to spending money like that. Like a compulsive spending disorder. When you first told her to stop, she said she understood you, right? But she's still going at it right now, right? Why don't you take her to go see a therapist or someone that can check to see if she's alright? I've heard that lots of women suffer from this sort of disorder.
No. There's no way that she's sick or anything. I think I've just been a bit too easy on her. And I also think this time I've made my point. I'm sure that she'll soon be able to understand things and stop all of this nonsense.
Now it seems like you're giving in to her spending problems. You know there's something you have to do if she continues this.
Of course. I should probably start thinking about that, huh?
Or you can ask her to start working for her own money. She used to work full-time before you guys got married, right? But you guys decided to have her quit in case she got pregnant or anything like that, right? I think before you guys do anything like that, you should have her start helping with saving money, okay?
I'm really not sure what I should do right now, though. I can't just keep coming back to you for advice and money, right? I have to do something.
Hey, don't tell me that you're having to do something about this means gambling or anything like that, right?
Huh? Gambling?
Well, my husband told me recently that he saw your car parked outside a casino here in town. That you guys were there right next to it waiting in a line to get in.
Is that so?
I assume that was just my husband confusing someone else for you, and that's why I hadn't said anything. But does that seem familiar to you?
I'm sorry. There was one thing I've been hiding from you. Actually, the one gambling has been Ashley. I think when I went there to go and pick her up, your husband saw me in my car.
Ashley's gambling now as well.
Yeah.
Well, with everything else you've told me, and how her gambling as well, I think you should really start looking at other options rather than trusting that things will get better with her.
I was thinking of telling you about this, but I never could.
But the fact that she's gambling, I never even imagined a girl like her doing that sort of thing.
Well, she's not the girl most people think she is.
I know that. But I've had many times where I've talked with her. Her overspending on things and gambling really don't seem to fit her personality at all.
I was surprised by all of this as well.
Hey, I know that we'll all be meeting again at Mom and Dad's soon, right? Do you think during that time we can talk with Ashley again?
Well, about that. Ashley says she doesn't want to come.
Huh? Really?
Ashley knows that I've been borrowing money from you and she doesn't want to be seen by the family right now.
Would it be wrong for me to try and text or call her?
Do you even know Ashley's number?
No, I don't, but...
Well, then I don't feel comfortable telling you that information.
Well then, could you go and ask her if it's okay for me to know her phone number or maybe even her email?
I don't think she's gonna like that.
But I'm just asking that you ask her one time and see. Please?
Alright, fine. But don't get your hopes up, okay?
I won't. I know that all of this is troubling you a lot, but you have to get this all under control. You might even have to make a choice that you've been avoiding for a long time now. Parker? Where are you right now?
I'm at home. What's wrong?
Your wife just came over to our place drenched in water. What the heck is going on here? She told me that you threw water all over her, and now she's drenched head to toe in freezing cold water.
Harper, run away from her right now. She's very dangerous. You shouldn't believe anything she says to you.
Huh?
I think the reason she's so upset right now is because I've been telling you all about her bad spending habits. So I'm not sure if she's there to do anything harmful to you or not.
Well, that's not what any of this looks like to me, though.
I know that, but you just have to run from her. She was holding scissors when she came at me.
Scissors? When she arrived here, she only came with the clothes on her back. And right now, she's in the bathtub trying to warm herself up. I don't think you need to be that worried about what she's doing. Just let me take care of her now, okay?
No, I'm very worried right now, so I'll be over there in a little bit.
Do not come. I don't care how many times she had been overspending on things. You cannot just throw freezing cold water all over her. I can tell right now that you are not calm enough to come see her, right? So I'm not going to let the two of you see each other at this moment. And if you do still come, I'm not letting you in the house.
But I'm seriously worried about you and your husband.
Have you forgotten that my husband is more than capable of defending us? He's been doing martial arts for years now. He's twice the size of Ashley and probably 3 times as heavy as her. Even if she does manage to cut him, he's not going to just die.
Has Ashley said anything to you guys yet?
I haven't heard the details yet. She just came in telling me that you both got into a fight.
I see. All right. Can you tell Ashley that I'm sorry? Let her know that I want her home soon and that I'll be waiting for her.
I can tell her that. For the time being, I'll let you know if anything else happens.
Harper, the inside of my house is a bit off right now. All of Ashley's things are gone and it's just empty now. Today's the day she was supposed to be coming back, right? Did she say anything else to you? I'm not able to get an answer from her anymore.
Well, if you're worried about Ashley, she's doing just fine.
What does that mean?
You really did a great job keeping things from me. The person splurging all their money putting the house in debt has been you all along, hasn't it?
What are you talking about?
I heard everything from Ashley. Ever since the two of you got married, you've been using a lot of money behind her back. And never once have you left anything for her. And when Ashley tried to help fix things between you two, you run away from her and threaten to post things online about her picking on you. That seems pretty screwed up to me, Parker.
Huh? I'm not doing whatever she's saying to you. I told you before not to believe anything that she says, didn't I? Harper, are you going to believe some crazy woman or your own little brother?
I'm choosing to believe Ashley. She even has evidence that it's been you all along.
What kind of evidence could she possibly have?
Ashley has recorded all of your threats to her and all your fights. But you kept saying you post embarrassing things about her online and stuff, so she never had the ability to do anything about you.
She might have found an AI or something to recreate my voice so that she could take advantage of me.
But even if she's faking all those recordings, things between you two still don't add up. You've been telling me that Ashley's been the one taking money from your savings, so that she can spend more and you can pay the bills. But in reality, it's been you stealing money from Ashley's saving account and using it for your own spending. If you hadn't had as much money in your savings as you said to me, then you would never have needed her money, right?
You can't prove any of that. I know for a fact that Ashley changed after marrying me.
That's right. But she didn't change in the way you did, where you started taking her money from her the moment you realized you didn't have enough for your urges.
That's not it. I haven't been doing anything like that.
Parker, I know that for the past few weeks you've been going nonstop to the casino. When we heard about what Ashley was telling us, my husband and I got in the car and drove past there. And what was parked outside the casino all night? Your car. Did you start gambling because the money that Ashley had in her account was all used up by you? Something even more crazy is that whenever you actually win there, we'd watch as you walked over to the bar next door and spend it all on drinks. You really are a good-for-nothing person, aren't you?
You're wrong, Harper. Ever since we got married, I've been asking for Ashley to start saving her money. And because of all that stress of her overspending, I started to play slots and such. I'll go out and drink after to try and help deal with my pain as well.
I'm not wrong about one thing, aren't I? You're the one that's been splurging this whole time. Yet you lied to me this whole time saying that it's her fault and you never had any money, and had me lend you some of my own. No matter how hard you try and flip the story, you're never going to change the fact that you're awful.
Is Ashley starting to talk about wanting to leave me now? She's not going to regret it, right?
That's what you're worried about now? Well, if you plan to do anything about her leaving you, she says to go right ahead. It's not like she's going to care, and neither will we. We all knew that she would try and plan to threaten her after this, and that's why she's going to take you to court next.
Huh? To court?
Why wouldn't she? You've been the one ruining her life. And so, I'd like you to take every bit of responsibility for the horrible things you've done to her while married.
But I'm your little brother, Harper. Don't you think it's terrible to let someone take your own brother to court?
What am I doing that's terrible? Ashley was able to show me all the evidence, and I saw a lot of this myself. If you really want me to trust you after all of this, show me your evidence that she's been taking money from you. You said that last time she spent so much money on the credit card that you needed me to lend you $1,000 to pay the bills, right? I'd like you to show me the credit card bills right now of all on her spending.
I don't know if that'll be shown on the bill.
I know dang well that you can see when and where the card has been used. If you're really having a hard time finding anything, go ahead and call the card company and have them send you a list. But if you can't show me the purchase history of that card, then I'm not going to believe you.
Harper, can you at least stop trying to take me to court? There's no reason to be doing that over something as stupid as all of this.
So does this mean you're going to take responsibility for all that you've done to Ashley? You went and stole from her savings account and used it all on your own. And you threatened her if she tried to do anything about you by making posts about her to try and ruin her image.
I know that I had taken some of her money to spend on my own, but I never wanted to ruin her image in any way. I don't even get how she took all of that as threatening her.
So you're saying that it was her that misunderstood you, saying that you post horrible things about her as a threat. Of course, why would you threaten anyone that was trying to stop you from stealing their money? That would be crazy.
I'm being serious, Harper. I now know that I messed up somewhere along the way, and I'm sorry for that. I promise to not take anything from her again. I'll even delete anything I plan to post that would embarrass her. So please, forgive me for all of this.
I'm never going to forgive you for this. You went and spent a lot of your life's money and even dragged me and my husband into your problems. What you've done is far beyond being resolved by a simple apology. We're going to make sure you learn a valuable lesson. And that will all start with us never believing another word you say. So, Parker, go ahead and take the rest of today to relax and prepare for tomorrow. Because it'll be the beginning of a new and deserved life for you. After that, my husband and I became the mediators for my sister-in-law and Parker's discussion over divorce and what would happen after that. We made sure that everything my brother had planned to do to Ashley as a threat was erased. But just to make sure that nothing would ever come out of him that might harm Ashley's image, we signed an agreement stating that he would have to pay $1 million in damages to her. Now that we have formal papers helping control the matter, I don't think Parker will ever threaten or harm Ashley in any way if he plans on having any money at all. Of course, we had talked about taking him to court over the first threats he made to Ashley and for him stealing her money. But we assumed that by doing that, he could lose everything he has, including his job. So we stopped any more talk about taking him to court and started discussing things like a settlement after the divorce, which he could pay off little by little every month as he continued to work his butt off for the money. And since he'll still have to pay off the settlement for some time to keep Ashley away from him, he will have to go through me and her parents when he has money to hand over. Because that would become too much of a hassle for Parker, though. He decided to borrow some money from the bank and paid everything off to Ashley in one payment. And to make sure something like this never happens again, whenever my parents or myself hear from him asking for help, we make sure to tell him no, but give him ways to make the money he needs. However, it seems like after the divorce, Parker learned a lot about what he did wrong, and with the regrets that he now has, no longer spends his money recklessly. After a few months has passed, we actually learned from Parker that the only reason he had ever married Ashley in the first place was for her money. And that if it weren't for her having all those savings, he would have never even became interested in the first place. That to me was disgusting to hear from him, and only cemented the fact that I'd never forgive him for any of this. I hope that he'll never act like that ever again, and should be well aware that if he does, there will be nobody there to help him. As for Ashley, after the divorce, she continued to live with my husband and I. And she's now found herself a new job and a place to move into, which she plans on doing starting next month. Of course, we plan to stay in touch with her to make sure everything's okay. And even after that, we hope that she comes to our place every so often to hang out. Things may have seemed terrible before with Parker married to her and never being able to tell the truth, but now that she's in our hands and free, I've never seen her with a bigger smile. You can say that now she's no longer with my brother anymore, she's no longer family. But I take her as my sibling over Parker any day after the events that unfolded. I hope that once she's moved into her new life outside my house, she can live a much more free life without the memories of what Parker did to her in the past.
Carolyn, I'm not going to make it home from work until later tonight. You don't have to worry about making me dinner now either.
What? I already made dinner though. Aren't you a little bit late telling me now?
I'm sorry. I'm well aware that recently I've been a bit late coming home. So I just thought you'd be aware of that as well.
But there are days where you come home earlier than normal, right? If you aren't going to tell me anything, I'm assuming you'll be home in time for dinner.
I said I was sorry. I'll make sure to eat it for breakfast tomorrow.
You'll make sure to wake up in time, right? You said all of that once before, but that time you slept in late and didn't have any time to eat it.
I had to come home super late that night, so I didn't have the energy to wake you early. You have to understand that I'm the one working.
And I'm working as well, Noah.
Part-time job. And you do that from home anyway.
Well, I have to look after a 3-year-old boy while I work. I'm also taking care of chores, and so I think no matter how you try and view it, we're both equally busy. And also, I've noticed you haven't even been helping out with anything at home these days. It's been a month now and you haven't helped get Jack into the tub. You won't even help tuck him into bed or anything like that either.
If you have something to complain about, then go to the company about it. I want to get home on time to be able to help you out.
I'm sure you do, but how much longer are you going to be this busy? You started getting this busy just after New Year's, right?
I think after just a bit longer, I'll start being able to come home sooner.
Really?
I'm serious. At the moment, I can see already that my workload is starting to decrease.
Well, that's good to hear and all. But for the time being, when you get a day off, can you at least spend some time with Jack playing? It's getting nice outside now, and it'd be perfect for the two of you to go outside and play. I just want you to start acting like a father for him.
When I get my days off, I like to use them to relax myself from all the stress I have.
And I'm in the same boat, Noah.
All right. I'll try my best to start playing with him over the weekends.
This is a promise, right? I've even started to hear Jack saying that he never gets to see his dad anymore. He already knows that there's somebody missing from his life. I don't even think you've seen him besides when he's sleeping these past few weeks, right?
Well, you have a point. Then I think this Saturday I'll hang out with Jack and take him wherever he'd like to go.
Really? Jack has really been wanting to go to the superhero performance. It's happening over the theme park this weekend. Do you think you can both go out there for the day?
All right, theme park, huh? I can make that work.
Thank goodness. I want him to know that his dad is still thinking about him.
And this is me showing you that I really am sorry for not being around the two of you for a little while now.
Well, you have really only been coming home to sleep, and that's it seems. And even when you do come home earlier, you just grab something to eat and then pass out on the couch. I've been sort of worried about Noah.
Sorry.
It's fine. I understand that your work has been pretty hectic for a little while now. But I bet he's going to be so happy to go with his dad to the theme park this weekend. Do you think I can go let him know about this right now?
Sure, since I won't be home till later anyway. And I have no idea if he'll even be awake tomorrow morning when I get up. Well, I'm going to get back to work now.
Alright, good luck with the rest of today's work. And make sure to make it home safe tonight. Noah, when are you going to be home tonight?
I think it won't be until midnight or so.
I'm not going to forgive you for what happened today.
Well, it couldn't be helped, Carolyn. I didn't expect for a customer to contact me out of nowhere today. They asked for me to come out with them, and I couldn't just say no to that.
Yet you said that you'd go to the theme park with Jack today, right? Jack was so looking forward to seeing that superhero performance.
But look, him and I were able to go out and see that movie he likes, right? I think that should have fixed things between us now.
I know that, but even getting you to go see that movie with him was difficult to achieve. And when you told him that you had work you needed to get done today, you didn't even apologize for leaving him. After that, he was crying for well over 2 hours.
For 2 hours? He has a lot of power to be able to last that long.
This isn't something to be laughing about, Noah. If you're not going to be able to keep a promise, then don't even make it in the first place.
I never planned to break that promise, okay? If it was a message or a call from one of my coworkers, I would have ignored it. But this time, it was from a customer, and my boss would never forgive me if I ignore their call. So please forgive me for this.
When you get home from work tonight, I want you to apologize to Jack, okay? And if you really aren't home until after midnight, then you apologize to him tomorrow morning.
Will do. I'll make sure to apologize to him.
I'll make sure from now on that as long as you're working this much to not ask you for anything else.
You really don't have to say things like that. But by the end of this month, I should no longer be busy with work.
Wait, this month?
Yeah. It seems we are finally coming to the end of this long busy streak. So, I promise that starting next month, I'll put more time and energy into raising Jack and helping with the house.
I see. So you'll finally be done with coming home super late.
Yep. Sorry for making you work this hard for so long. But next week, I will have to go on a small business trip.
Business trip? That normally doesn't happen to you, does it?
Well, this time the client I have to go see will show me around his offices. But once that's all taken care of, I'll no longer be this busy.
You say that, but won't this only lead up to you saying that work will start getting busy again the following month?
No, it won't. I'm telling you that my boss is well aware that he asks a lot out of all of us, including me this time. And so we should have a long time to rest after this month.
So you're saying there will no longer be any of this coming home late from work stuff, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Well then, once you're done with this month's work, I'm going to ask for you to do all sorts of things here with us at home.
And that's totally fine with me. Actually, I look forward to doing things with you.
And while I'm still talking with you, something came in the mail. From Tyler, I believe. Isn't he one of your friends from back in high school?
That's right. We had drinks with him last time he went back to my parents' house. And back then, he was telling me how he'd start working for a new company selling meat. So I think he sent us a package of the meat he sells.
Really? That's amazing and very kind of him. Then I guess tonight we'll have some of the steak that's in here for dinner.
I'll make sure to tell him thanks later.
Don't you think we should send something from us back to him as a thank you?
I don't think that'll be necessary. His wife is still in town here, and so I can just give something to her to take to him the next time she goes to visit.
I see then. But I'd like to send something to him from us at some point in the mail as well. I really love all these types of meats he sent to us, so I'm really happy.
And that's why I asked him to do this.
Really? But even if that's the case, I'd like him to get something in return for having this sent to us.
Well, you can just let it be. I'll let him know that you're happy because of what he did.
Well, since you helped get us this box of meat from Tyler, I guess I can forgive you a little for what happened today.
That'll only get half of me forgiven?
Of course it will, Noah. It takes time to regain one's trust after losing it. My forgiveness for you will all rely on how you handle things with work, and after work, so please do your best to show this family you still care. Noah, do you have your phone on you right now? Have you not seen that Jack's got into an accident? Why are you not answering my calls right now?
Stop trying to call me so many times. If I couldn't get to the first call, what makes you think I'll be able to answer any of the others?
Are you not worried about your son right now?
I told you that I'm on a business trip right now. You're being rude. You know that I won't be able to do anything from here, so stop trying to talk to me about him. Do you think that by calling me, things with Jack would just magically be fixed?
Business trip? Even though I just saw you walking with another woman right in front of my very eyes?
Huh?
Did you really think you could fool me by saying you went on a business trip when you're still in town? Well, you've been out with that other girl that I've never seen before. Jack got into a serious accident.
Huh?
I told you, right? Today I'd be going out with your mom and Jack. And your mom wanted to go and see an art exhibit in town today. So on our way there, Jack began to walk a bit ahead, and he told us that he saw you walking across the road. And when he did see you, he began to run across the road to see you while screaming "Dad," and that's when a bike hit him.
No way. He must have mistaken someone else as me.
I know dang well he did not. I saw you, and so did your mom. And that girl you were walking with today, holding hands and all, was one of your classmates from high school, right? Your mom was kind enough to tell me about her. She's the wife of your friend Tyler.
Hey, I have an excuse for this.
If you would have hurried up and come to the hospital when this happened, I might have been willing to forgive you for something like this. I wanted to know that you care about your son. But the fact that you didn't even answer the phone when I kept calling you, and then telling me that you're on some sort of business trip, I think things are over with now.
Wait, hold on a second, Carolyn. I'm sorry, I'll start coming right now.
You don't have to come now. I already know very well how you feel about Jack and I. So don't even bother coming around the two of us ever again.
Carolyn, please. Can you please talk to me? I'm telling you that I really regret what's happened and I want to talk to you about all of this.
Fine. I've also started to finally calm down about a lot of this.
Carolyn, I really messed up a lot this time. Jack is out of the hospital now, right?
Yeah, he banged his head up pretty badly, but after the exams and everything, he was let out with just some bandages around the cuts and scrapes. They even said he was lucky to make it out of that without a concussion.
I see. Thank God.
Well, I wouldn't be thanking him just yet. You told him that you were busy with work, yet you were actually just busy having an affair. And even worse, it was with one of your old friends' wives. How many people's lives do you plan to ruin before you're happy?
I told you already that we weren't having an affair or anything like that. Tyler's wife is also a really good friend to me and such. I already talked with Tyler about all of this.
You talked with him about you holding his wife's hand. What kind of relationship do you all have then?
How can you say this? We just talked about how life was back in high school and that we wanted to re-experience that. So her and I just started to casually walk with our hands held. There's nothing deep about any of this.
But to me, I still have no idea what's going on. Are there really people that just let their friends walk with hand in hand with their wife? Also, why would you go out of your way to make up going on a business trip for that?
I'm sorry for lying to you about that. But it turns out that Tyler's wife, her name is Emmy, by the way. Emmy doesn't really want to go all the way out to see Tyler while he's working for that new company. She says she really doesn't like the countryside, so she plans to just stay here in the city for now. Because she really has no choice but to go, she decided she'd hang out with me one last time before leaving. You don't seem to like that though, do you?
Course I don't. You can't even keep a single promise with your family. Yet when it comes to your friend's wife, you're just fine taking time off work to go out with her.
I'm sorry for making this so confusing. I really messed up by not telling the truth.
Have you talked with Tyler anymore since Jack's accident?
Nope. I actually haven't heard anything from either of those two.
Well, that'll happen, won't it? I'm sure that Tyler's a bit suspicious now.
I did make sure to tell Tyler about what happened, though.
Hey, there are no more lies now, right?
Nothing else. I know that I wasn't honest about holding hands with one of my friends from high school and all, but that's it. You don't have to doubt me anymore. We are husband and wife, and so you should be able to trust me at least a little right now, right?
All right then. I guess we're getting a divorce.
Why? I told you everything now. There's really nothing else I need to tell you.
I know there's even more. You're telling me that you haven't been having an affair, but you sure did. I know that you guys did things in bed. I know that you've been going to Emmy's house during the week when you've been telling me you had work. She's been living alone now for a little while with Tyler gone, so it works out perfectly for you.
I have not.
Hey, Noah, I've heard everything from Tyler already.
Huh?
Emmy happened to tell Tyler about everything. Seems she just couldn't keep her secret from him any longer.
She told him everything and he told you.
He told me everything, Noah. From when you both started to go out together to just a few days ago. Back when we all went out to drink while back in town at your parents this year, you ended up getting close with Emmy while Tyler was passed out and I went home to care for Jack. Both you and Emmy started to talk about how much you liked each other back in high school, right? I don't even know how to react to all of this. You ended up cheating on me with your friend from high school's wife.
I'm so sorry.
Are you finally going to accept the truth now?
But what Emmy and I had was just sort of a fling, and that's it. We planned to only do things together until she either moved in with him or until he came back to town again.
Listen, all of that isn't what I'm worried about right now.
I just hope you understand me and her playing around together doesn't mean that I forgot about the both of you.
During the past few months that you've been with her, I've had to pick up all the slack. How does leaving me at home all the time to both care for Jack and the house show how much you still care for us?
I didn't mean for all of that to happen, though.
Bull crap. You left me doing all the chores and cooking and caring for Jack, and you were never even here to make any memories with your boy. And on the weekends when you're supposed to have time off work, you make up some excuse saying you had to go back in jest so you could go out with Emmy more. You even canceled the most important plan you had with Jack, and that was a trip to the theme park. What about all of that wasn't meant to happen? You just showed both me and your son that your secret girlfriend is more important than the two of us.
Sorry, I really screwed up this time. But none of that meant that I don't care about you and Jack. I don't want to have to leave you.
Well, if you could at least come to the hospital, if you would have at least showed Jack that you cared about him more than any other plan you had, then maybe I wouldn't want to divorce you. But you chose to continue to lie to me, and I cannot forgive that kind of crap from you any longer. You told me so many lies, even going as far as to break promises with Jack and I, all just to be with your high school friend's wife. I don't have any need for you as a husband, and Jack sure doesn't need you as his father.
Carolyn, I'm asking you to please rethink all of this. Just forgive me. Actually, you don't even have to forgive me, but please just don't divorce me. I promise that from now on, I'll only live for the two of you. Please believe me, Carolyn.
It already hurts me just knowing that you were doing all those things with a friend's wife. It hurts even more for me to have to say this, but Noah, you asked for all of this the moment you started making up lies to go out and sleep with her. I have no desire to be around you anymore. All I can see in my head now when I think of you is a man that's less family and more monster.
I'm so sorry, Carolyn. I'm really sorry. I promise to make things right. So please just stop thinking about getting a divorce.
I also hope that you would have never thought about divorce, and I even hope that you would have just thought about your son. But you went against both of those hopes of mine and ruined everything you had with Jack and I. I told you that it's hard to reform a trust with someone you love, right? Well, what makes you think I'm ever going to trust you with the amount of lies you made? Once I had made my choice very clear with Noah, we got a divorce. Of course, Noah cried for hours on end trying to get me to stay with him. But him going out with his high school friend's wife behind my back and all the lying about having to work lots of hours made that impossible for me. And when he told me he couldn't come to the hospital to see his own son because he was on a business trip, I lost all respect for him. At first, Noah wouldn't even try to sign the divorce papers. But when I had his mom there to tell him that she was not happy with everything he did, he had no other choice but to do as we said. Also, Tyler and Emmy ended up getting divorced. Of course, Tyler never knew that Noah was actually hanging out with his wife all that time, and so their friendship ended very quickly, and rumors about it spread like wildfire. Emmy tried to run away back to her parents' place, but they all had already heard about what happened and forced her out. With nowhere left to run, she now stays hidden inside her home here in town, where none of her old classmates can look down on her. Now, back to Noah and I, we still had to figure out the situation with Jack after the divorce. I decided that Jack would be staying with me for most of his childhood, and that Noah would need to pay child support for us. And every month, Jack's grandma could come and pick him up, and take him to see his dad for the day, but only with the supervision of grandma. I hope that by letting Jack see his father once a month, their relationship will slowly and safely be able to heal. However, in my case, I have no plans of ever rekindling any sort of relation I had with Noah. I don't want to talk with him anymore so that he will continue to pay the child support and there will be no problems. However, if the day comes that he does decide to stop giving me the child support, I'll have no choice but to confront him again. And one other thing, after the divorce, Jack and I did move out of that house for good, and are now back living with my parents back at their house. He now has both his grandparents here all day to play with him, and so I can already see in his eyes that he's having way more fun here than he ever had back when it was just Noah and I. He hasn't even had much time to play anymore besides with me ever since Noah started lying to us, so this must all be a huge breath of fresh air for him. I'm sure that even though he's still so young, he'll have some sort of memories relating to all of this. I just hope that in time, I can make so many amazing memories with him, and that will cloud the horrible memories he has of the past few months. Also, with him now having more time to spend with my parents, this will give me time to start working harder on my job. I may have only had enough time to work 20 or so hours a week while having to also manage the house and Jack. But from now on, I'm going to try and work a lot more so that I can start saving money for Jack's future. Of course, there is the money I got from Noah in a settlement that I got with the divorce, but I want to make sure that we both have a comfortable future ahead of us. I may be asking a lot from my parents for a little while as we live with them, but I know that Jack will be loved by them far more than he was by his own dad.
Good work today. I just came back home. How about you, Ivan?
Sorry, I still have work to do. You can eat dinner without me.
Okay. You've been working till late recently. You okay?
Our new project isn't going well. I haven't been able to do my chores for the past few days. Thanks for doing them instead of me, although you're busy with work too.
Don't worry. You always help me out when I'm busy too. I get home earlier than you, so let me do the housework. I also like to cook, remember? Cleaning is not my specialty though.
I could do some cleaning around the house on the weekends.
Thanks. That'll be helpful.
Hey, I have something to tell you, Annie.
Huh? What do you want to tell me?
I want to talk about this face-to-face when I get home. But I don't know when I'll be home, so I'm going to tell you now.
What is it?
My parents have been asking me if we can live together.
Huh? Live with them? I thought we promised that we won't live with either of our parents when we got married.
Yeah, I remember. But they suddenly started asking me if they could live with us. I'm not exactly sure why, but I guess they're worried to live alone now that they're getting older.
That goes the same to my parents as well. How did you reply to my parents?
I told them honestly that we never planned to live with our parents. Then they told me to consider about it positively.
Okay, but you'll tell them no, right?
Of course I'll tell them no. But you know, they tend to be stubborn. It's hard to change their minds sometimes.
Really? From what I've seen, they're really nice people who respect our personal space.
We've only been married for 2 years. You don't know what my parents are like. We only meet them a few times a year.
Well, yeah. We don't meet them often, although we live quite nearby. But I do think I know them pretty well. They're not the type to suddenly say they want to live with us.
No, Annie, you don't know them at all. They do things we never expect them to do sometimes. And they could be really stubborn too.
Then make sure you say no, okay? We decided not to live with either of our parents. Maybe they're not serious about it too.
But they asked me to think about it. I guess they're pretty serious this time.
Either way, tell them no. You won't want to live with my parents even if they ask us to, right?
Your parents live far away in a different state.
What if they say they'll move in with us?
Well, in that case, they'll be surprised.
Right? Make sure to tell them no, or I might move out.
Don't do that! I can't live without you. I'll be sure to tell them no.
Then tell them tomorrow. No need to wait.
Huh? Tomorrow?
I think it's better to tell them quickly. We don't want to keep them waiting. They might start having high hopes if we keep them waiting.
Okay. I'll visit them tomorrow after work.
Do you want me to join you?
No, it's okay. I don't want it to be awkward. I'll clearly tell them no, so don't worry. Annie, sorry to text you during your working hours.
Nope, it's fine. I was supposed to be off today. They should at least grant me some freedom to reply to you. I just finished eating lunch, so I have some time.
My parents called me to invite me over. I'm so sorry, Annie.
Huh? You're scaring me.
We're gonna move in with them.
Huh? Wait a minute. I thought you told them we didn't want to a month ago.
They haven't given up, apparently.
No, we can't live with them. How can you decide this alone without consulting me? I told you that I didn't want to live with them.
I don't think we could change their minds now. I'm really sorry.
So you've given up on saying no to them? But I don't think I can live with them. If we live under the same roof, I'll have to do the housework more properly. I think I'll have to be in charge of cooking meals for them. I also have a job, so I don't think I'll have enough to act as a good wife.
Don't worry about that. Mom told me she'll support you. She'll be doing the housework for us, so there's nothing to worry about. You can focus on your job.
I can't just depend on her with everything. As her daughter-in-law, it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Think about it. If we live with them, Dinner will be ready when we get home. We don't have to cook. Didn't you say you like Mom's cooking?
Yeah, she's really good at cooking, but that doesn't mean I can live with them. Can we have a family meeting? I'll participate too this time.
No, it's too late.
Why?
They decided to renovate the house so that we can live with them. They're going to increase the number of rooms.
Did they decide everything when I haven't even agreed to it?
They told me they'll break relations with me if I don't agree.
Wait a minute. That's really selfish of them. They're being ignorant of our opinion.
Sorry, Annie.
If they're gonna threaten us like this, I'll be more than happy to break relations with them, to be honest.
Wait. I don't want to break relations with them.
Don't you think they're being too selfish, though? I can't just accept their selfish actions.
Can't we try and live with them? Get them a chance? If it's too hard for you, we can always leave the house.
I think it'll be harder to leave once we start living with them.
I'm their only son. I think they're being overprotective of me. You have a big brother, right? You don't understand what it's like to be an only child.
I do have a brother, but I can't accept this, Ivan. I'll support you as much as I can. You're rarely at home, busy with work.
Things will calm down by the time we start living with them. So please, Annie. My parents have been taking great care of me since I was little. I want to do something in return.
Ivan.
I've already paid for the renovation fees, too. I can't say no at this point.
Huh? Are we paying for the fees? Did you use our savings without asking me?
I can't let my parents pay for everything, but they told me they'll pay 2/3 of the total payment.
Your family always ignores my opinion, don't they?
We never meant to ignore you. Hey, Annie, why do you refuse? Is there a special reason? Can't we try living with them for once? We don't have children, and we're both busy with work. I think we'll benefit from living with them because we'll have less housework to do.
For you, that might be true, but it's gonna be awkward for me to live with them.
You'll get used to it.
Maybe I will, but I don't want to cause trouble and ruin our relationship. We have really different lifestyles. I think your parents would feel uncomfortable too. I wanted to live separately unless there's a special reason why we have to live with them.
But there are some benefits too. We'll no longer have to pay our rent.
The cons outweigh the pros, Ivan. We'll have more things to worry about. It's gonna be stressful for me.
You'll be fine, Annie. My parents are fond of you. They want to live with us because they think you're their real daughter.
Okay, let me think about it.
There's nothing we can do about it. Thinking won't change anything.
I want to organize my thoughts. I have to go back to work now, so let me process all the information when I have the time to. Are you already home, Ivan?
Yeah, but I'm going to go meet my friends now.
Oh, alright.
I'll probably go drinking with them, so I'll be back at around 8. You don't have to prepare dinner for me.
I wanted to discuss about this face to face.
Let's talk about it when I get home. But I can't stop them anymore. There's something we could do. I'm sorry, but you have to accept it, Annie.
Hello, Mom. It's Annie. I'm sorry to text you so suddenly.
Long time no see, Annie. You're always welcome to text me anytime. We had dinner outside, so I don't have to cook tonight. I have plenty of time to have a conversation with you.
Oh, I see. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Is it about us living together?
Yes. I don't think it's the best time to start living together. It's gonna take longer for us to get to our workplace from your house, and I think we'll cause you some trouble if we live together. I don't think I'll be able to help with housework because I can be really busy with work sometimes. I think it's better for us to live separately. So, could you give it a second thought?
What do you mean by giving it a second thought? I thought you were the one who wanted to live with us.
Huh? Me?
That's what my son told me. You really had a hard time deciding what to do. There's no need to live together now, is there? When it comes to living with other people, I don't have any good memories. So I never wanted to live with others. I refused when my son first asked us if we can live together.
Is that true? I thought you said you would break relations with him if we don't agree to live with you. That's what my husband told me.
I thought you said that. He told me that you were frustrated about doing all the housework for him. I thought you said you would divorce him if he didn't live with you, to help out with the housework.
No, I never said that. When my husband told me about us living together, I asked him to say no because that was what we decided when we got married. But then he told me today that they decided to live together and to renovate the house.
So, does this mean that my son has been making it sound like we both wanted to live together? This is getting weird.
Yes.
My son has been lying to make us live together. Am I right? It doesn't make any sense. Why would he do something so complicated?
Could you keep this conversation a secret from my husband? And I wanted to ask you, have you already decided to renovate the house?
My son is in charge of planning the renovation, and we agreed to pay for the fees.
Have you already paid for it?
No, not yet.
Then, could you not pay him? If he asks you to, could you come up with random reasons so that you won't have to pay? I'll try to find out what he's up to.
Okay. If there's anything I can help, feel free to text me, okay?
Yes, thank you so much. I'll let you know if I find some information. Ivan, when are you coming home today?
Maybe before midnight? Anything wrong?
I wanted to talk to you about us moving in with your parents.
I thought you agreed to it the last time we discussed. There's something you could do now. It's already decided.
No. I wanted to ask about the renovation. Have you decided which company to ask for?
Oh, about that? We decided the company, but the planning process is pretty complicated, so they haven't started renovating the house yet.
Oh, I see. So, where is our money? The money you used from our savings.
Huh? What? I already paid the company.
That's weird. I heard from your mother that they'll be paying for it.
Huh? Did you talk with Mom?
I wanted to thank her for paying most of the renovation fees. Then she told me that they would be paying for everything. So, why did you withdraw money from our savings?
I didn't tell you this, but the price was more expensive than we imagined. I didn't want to ask them to pay more. I felt sorry, so I decided to pay the rest using our saved money.
Where are you now, Ivan?
What do you mean where? I'm at my office.
I don't think so. Didn't you use it to rent a new room for you and your lover? I'm guessing you used it for the moving expenses.
Huh? What are you talking about?
What do you think you're doing? I hired a detective to find out what you've been up to.
Huh?
And I find out that you've been having an affair for the past few months. You wanted me to live with your parents so that you can divorce me. I can't believe you've been lying to me all this time. If you wanted the divorce, just tell me honestly. You don't have to make up stories to make me live with your parents.
Calm down, Annie.
I am perfectly calm.
I'm not having an affair. I just helped my friend move in. You're misunderstanding.
Are you still trying to lie to me? I have proof.
What proof?
I have photos of you holding hands with her, walking out of her apartment. Oh, I also have some audio recorded, but I bet you wouldn't want to hear it. Either way, I have proof that shows you've been having an affair.
Annie, I'm so sorry. You're misunderstanding everything. I never had an affair. I was just cheating on you.
Huh? Isn't that the same thing? You're married, and you cheated on me. You've been having an affair with someone other than your wife.
I only met her a few times. We don't have any special bonds between us. I'll never meet her again. So please, don't divorce me.
I thought you were the one who wanted to get a divorce. You thought I would leave you if you made me live with your parents. You planned to stay at your lover's room after I moved in with your parents. I have the audio of the conversation between you and your lover.
Huh? Why?
You were talking pretty loudly when you were walking home with your lover. Remember when you visited that nice bar with your lover a week ago?
How do you know this?
You really didn't want to be the bad guy, did you? You planned out everything so that you would eventually get a divorce.
Annie, I'm really sorry. But I promise, I'll never meet her again. We've been having fights recently. We have different ways of thinking. We don't get along.
Are you trying to get back together with me after you leave her?
Hopefully, yes. You don't have to move in with my parents. To be honest, you are way better than her. She's just youthful, and nothing more.
Are you telling me that you chose to have an affair with this young woman just because she was youthful? Can you stop making fun of me?
I'm not! I really regret having an affair with her. I was also having second thoughts about getting a divorce.
But you're in her room right now. You don't plan to leave her, do you?
Nope, I'm on my way home now. I'm never going to meet her again. I ended our relationship.
In such a short time? You haven't even left her room. I know everything, Ivan. I'm right in front of her apartment.
Uh-huh?
And your parents are also here with me. Let's have a family discussion, shall we? I'm going to be participating this time. You can't ignore my opinions now.
Why are my parents here? It's our problem. We should discuss that privately.
I don't think our private discussion would take us anywhere. And you are the one who brought your parents into this problem. Stop trying to escape from your responsibilities, Ivan.
Annie, I'm really sorry. I was stupid. I'm so sorry for everything I did.
It's too late to say sorry now. Either way, we decided to break relations with you. You have to accept it, Ivan. There's nothing you can do. He planned out all of this so that he wouldn't be held responsible and have to pay for the compensation money. He didn't want his lover to be blamed for destroying our relationship. I guess he wanted his lover to be accepted by his parents after our divorce. If he wanted to remarry his lover, he should have simply told me that he wanted a divorce. Considering his personality, I think he didn't have enough courage to ask me to divorce him. I am really disappointed in him. To be honest, I'm glad that I was able to get a divorce with such a terrible guy. I received compensation money from both of them. He also agreed to pay back the money he withdrew from our savings. My ex-husband now suffers from debt to pay for the compensation money, and his lover's parents also found out about their affair when she asked them to help pay for the compensation money. This became the trigger, and they eventually broke up. I'm genuinely surprised by how stupid they are. And I'm happy we're back to strangers. I want to forget about them as soon as possible and hope that I would never see them again. During our family discussion, I was furious and honestly expressed my anger towards him. But when I first found out about him cheating on me, I was on the verge of having a mental breakdown. When I was having a hard time, my friends and family, including his parents, were there for me. Thanks to their support, I was able to fight back till the end. I haven't been able to get over him completely, but I will never forget that I have many people who are willing to support me when I need help. I hope I can feel better soon. We all have our good times and bad times. That's life. I will never lose hope, and I'm definitely gonna live a better life than my ex-husband.
Hey Randy, are you home right now? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind checking something on my laptop for me. I was just curious if my USB was still in there or not. Can you look for me?
Yeah, it's still here in the laptop. This is your USB that you use for work, right? Did you forget it today?
I totally did, yeah. But I have some files from there that I really need to have with me to get some work done today.
Oh, really? Well, shoot, that's too bad. Do you want me to come over and bring it to you? I'm not working today, so I could do that if you wanted me to.
No, you don't have to worry about doing that. But would you mind turning on my laptop and just seeing if the files I need are there in the first place?
You want me to get on your laptop? Well, okay, but only if you're sure it's okay with you and you won't get in trouble with work.
It'll be totally fine. I know that you're not trying to steal any company's secrets or anything like that.
Okay, then, if you say so. It's turning on right now. Give it a moment.
Sure thing. Just let me know when, please.
Okay, I think I should be good now. Actually, it seems like there are several windows you left open here. What exactly am I looking for?
Could you open up the browser and look for a file labeled for this month? If you open that, you should be able to see some designs and photos of the company newsletter, right? Okay, if you see all of that, go ahead and put it all together for me, okay?
Wait, you want me to mess around with these files for you?
Yeah, it's fine. You're doing me a favor, remember? And I just have too many things going on today and totally forgot that I had to have this done by the end of the month.
But, Phil, I can't just do your job for you. This doesn't feel right.
Oh, please, you worry too much. It's fine. It's not like there's any sensitive information or anything like that in there. Besides, I'm giving you permission right now.
I understand that, but I just feel like this is your work and you should be the one doing this, right? Maybe you should just work on this after you come home today.
I thought about doing that too, but it's just not going to work. The boss wants to take us all out drinking tonight, so I won't be home until quite late.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't do this for you. I literally don't even know how.
Come on, I'm begging you here. You have to do this for me, please. It'll just be this one time.
I really don't like this right now, Phil.
But I know you can do it. I mean, don't you design work at your job anyways? I've seen some of your stuff and I know that you can handle a measly corporate newsletter.
It's just, well, I feel like you've been doing this more and more often.
What have I been doing more often? What do you mean by that?
I mean, the way that you're asking for all of these favors from me, I feel like you're just asking me to do things that you don't want to do.
You really think so?
I do. In fact, the last time you had a business trip, you asked me to pack your bags for you. And every day you've asked me to prepare your work clothes too. Not to mention the fact that you'll buy new appliances and leave them in the box for me to figure out how to set up. If you really didn't know how to do some of this stuff, that might be another story. But even then, you should just be able to look it up.
Wait a second. Are you mad at me right now? You're the house husband. Those are clearly your job. Besides, my mom would always do that stuff for me without ever complaining.
Okay, well, I'm not your mom, and I don't think you should expect me to treat you like I am. You know that I really don't like being told what to do or given orders.
I'm not asking you to be my mom or anything like that, man. All I'm saying is that I think you shouldn't be complaining about helping me out so much.
I don't understand what happened to you, Phil. You didn't have any problem doing things for yourself when we first got married. But lately, I feel like you come to me for just about everything. Now you're literally asking me to do some of your own job for you? Can't just stand by and pretend like this is okay.
Okay, fine. I promise that from now on, I'm going to try and do everything that I'm able to do on my own. But can you please just this once do this little Photoshop job for me? Then I promise to never ask you for anything ever again.
I already said that the answer was no. This is your work and you should be the one to do it.
Ugh, why do you always have to be so stubborn? I don't get why you're acting like this towards me.
I'm not acting like anything. I'm just saying that I don't want to do your work for you. I really don't think I'm being too unfair right now. Besides, what if your bosses find out that you were asking me to do this stuff for you?
Well, they won't find out, so that's not even going to be a problem for me. Can't you just do this one little favor, Randy?
I'm sorry, Phil, but I can't, and I won't. If you want, I can email those files to you and you can do them yourself.
Okay, fine, whatever. I'll just go and do this all myself.
Well, it was your job to begin with, so...
And you don't even work full-time. And who are you to act all high and mighty towards me?
I'm not trying to act high and mighty at all, but I work and take care of the house, remember?
That's right. You're just a house husband and nothing more. That's why you ought to be taking care of me even more. Just whose money do you think it is that buys the food and pays for the roof over our heads, huh?
Okay. If you really want to play this game, how about I ask who cooks that food and make sure what's under said roof is clean and livable?
Doesn't matter because I'm the one who pays money for those things. You just do stuff with them after I've already paid.
And I am so grateful that you have a job that can afford us all of these things. I really, truly am. But the fact of the matter is that we're married. We're a team, and things would cost money whether we liked it or not. But right now, we're combining our powers, and that's how we agreed to live.
But you're not doing your fair share. You're not helping me when I need it.
You really don't think that I do enough for you around here?
Oh, you know what? Just drop it already. I am sick and tired of having this conversation over and over again. I have to get back to work, so just leave me alone, okay? Hey, Randy, did you finally remake dinner for me?
Nope, and I still haven't done that yet.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Just how much time is it going to take for you to recook a lousy meal? Just what have you been doing?
Well, I'm just about to hop in the shower, actually.
You're about to get in the shower while your poor husband starves to death?
Did you seriously just ask me that? Are you going to pretend like tonight didn't happen? You took one bite of what I had prepared for us to eat and got so upset that you dumped your bottle of beer on me. You complained the whole time that it wasn't as good as when your mom made it, and then you left and said that you weren't coming back until I had remade the entire dish.
Well, it's not my fault that you don't know how to cook well. You should have learned what I like by now.
I don't buy that. You haven't had any problems with the food I've made for you in the past. So what's changed so suddenly, huh?
It's not a sudden change, Randy. I've always felt this way. I just never said anything about it until now. But the fact is, you've never been a good cook and all your food tastes so bland.
I really don't know how that could be, since at this point I'm putting in at least double the seasoning that your mom uses in her recipes. If you have a problem with my cooking, then it's your mom's recipes that you have a problem with.
That isn't true. I know what my mom's cooking tastes like, and it's always so good and rich with flavor. Maybe it just tastes bad because the person cooking it doesn't appreciate me enough and is always on my back for the smallest things.
You mean the things that you're always dumping on me to do for you? It's not like I want to be complaining to you about these things.
I'm only giving you things that I know you can handle. I don't get why you're making such a big deal over this. I mean, I'm the one who works, so you should support me. Isn't that fair?
And just why do you think that you having a full-time job entitles you to whatever you want from me? There are things that you need to do, and you should stop sloughing them off onto me. I mean, you come home and do nothing but lie on the couch while I run around maintaining everything. Where's my support?
Well, I'm tired from work when I get home.
I understand that. I may just work part-time, but I'm basically on call around the clock at home. You realize that, right? All you have to do is point or grunt for something, and I'm more than willing to grab it for you. Even though you're more than capable of doing things yourself, you still have me to do every little thing for you.
Oh, please. Don't even try to compare some little household chores to what I do. Honestly, how did you ever talk me into letting you be the house husband?
Why do we have to repeat this conversation over and over again? For the last time, I am not your mother, and you have to stop treating me like her. Got it?
You know what, Randy? I don't think you understand how married life is supposed to work.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
I mean that I work so that you can live, okay? You don't have any right to talk to me like this.
Are you kidding me right now? What has gotten into you, Phil?
I mean that you don't get to boss me around. I wear the pants in this relationship. You're acting just like the women that the other men in the office always complain about. So entitled and needy. I'm the one who feeds you. I'm the one who houses you. And you need to remember your place. So when I tell you to do something, you do it.
Of all the... I literally don't even know what to say to that right now. You never used to be like this.
Of course I have. I've just always held back what I wanted to say. But I can't do that anymore if you're going to act like this. Now, you get back in the kitchen, remake my dinner, and don't ever backtalk me again. If you don't, then this marriage is over. Hey Randy, I'm heading home now.
Oh, really?
Is that all you've got to say to me right now? I thought that I finally talked some sense into you last night, and now you're taking up an attitude with me again?
I'm not doing anything like that at all, Phil.
You better not be, for your sake. So, is dinner ready yet? I won't let it slide if the taste isn't perfect. And the more you screw up, the more and more I think about getting a divorce.
Oh, don't worry. I'm already leaving. If you want dinner, how about you go and ask your mom to cook it for you? I'm sure she would love to dote on her son.
Wait, what do you mean you're leaving?
I mean just that. I've packed up my bags and my parents are going to come and pick me up soon.
Wait, hold on a second. What did you mean about my mom?
Right. Well, I told your mom that I was going to be moving out, and she was actually overjoyed to hear that. She said that she wanted to move in with you right away and that she was going to cook for you every day from now on. So now you'll be able to enjoy her cooking and never have to suffer through my bland meals again.
No, hold on. why are you doing this? I don't get why you're leaving.
You said so yourself, right? If I didn't want to do what you wanted me to do, then we would get a divorce, right?
But I wasn't really serious about that.
If you weren't serious about something like that, you shouldn't have said it in the first place. But you said so many terrible things that I just reached my limit and I called your mom over.
Can you please just tell my mom to go back to her house?
Where'd I go and do something like that?
You know exactly why I don't want my mom here. If we're breaking up, I can't have my mom living with me and cramping my style. And I hate her food. But if I ever don't eat it, then she starts to cry and say that I hate her.
But I don't understand. Up until now, you've been telling me that I should be more like your mother. You've been comparing my cooking to hers and say that I've been the one making mistakes.
Well, that wasn't true.
Which part of it wasn't true, Phil?
Look, can you please just tell my mom to turn around and go back home? I'm just really tired from work and I don't have the energy to deal with her right now.
I don't know. I've kind of told myself to never do anything you tell me to ever again. Anyways, I'm leaving my signed portion of the divorce papers on the kitchen table. You just need to sign in the highlighted parts and send them off.
Randy, are you there? Please come back home. I really miss you.
Can you please stop blowing up my phone with all of these calls and texts? I'm in the middle of dinner with my family right now.
Please, I'm so sorry. I was acting like an idiot.
Oh, really? You were? And how were you doing that?
I said things I shouldn't have. And did mean things as well.
And you're only realizing now how much of an idiot you've been?
Well, it's not exactly like that.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, during that night I went out drinking with my coworkers. I was kind of grumbling about our marriage to one of my colleagues. He said that it's important for a husband to be strict with this, well, in my case, husband, and remind them of who is in charge.
And that's why you poured your beer on me? To tell me that you were in charge?
I'm sorry, but you just weren't listening to what I was saying.
You really are an idiot, Phil. I was listening, but it doesn't mean I was going to do it. And you never listened to what I was trying to tell you. But I'm so glad you found a way to shift blame to someone else for this.
Please, I really am sorry for all of this.
I don't want to hear it from you, Phil. But now you'll have to deal with your actual mom here. And we'll see if you treat her the same way that you treated me with all of your nagging and hurtful words. Just being gay doesn't absolve you of being a man, Phil. And worse than that, it's clear that you're just still a boy who wants a mommy but not his mommy.
Don't you go trying to psychoanalyze me? It was only that I couldn't find the words to really get my point across.
And so you came up with stuff about your mom instead? I'm afraid that Freud would have a field day with that one. But you just kept comparing me to your mom because you wanted someone who would do everything for you without a single word of protest, am I right?
You're right. About everything. I'm sorry. I promise to never act this way again. Just please forgive me. Please, come home.
I will not.
So then you really want to get a divorce with me? But it's not like I cheated on you or hit you or anything like that.
Well, first of all, you did pour beer all over me because, in your own words, I wasn't listening to you.
Well, but You're right. I'm so sorry.
Is that all you can say for yourself? Do you have no sense of shame for what you did? I have no idea how you could act the way you did without a second thought. You might not have injured me physically, but you still hurt me.
Well, it's never ever going to happen again. I swear it. I was just acting out is all.
Acting out? Well, at least that we can agree on. You were acting exactly like a spoiled child would. I didn't marry someone so that I could be their babysitter.
Randy, please. I know that I've been a complete idiot this week, but my mom has been driving me crazy this week and I can't stand her anymore. You were so much better to have around and I'm sorry for taking you for granted. So then you forgive me. You'll come home?
You did, but I am not about to just forgive you for all of that.
But why? I said that I'm sorry. I apologized, didn't I?
I told you that you needed to start handling more of your own business. And yet anytime I went against you, you were ready to put me down right away. Well, I have my limits and I have been pushed way past them. I've been doing a lot of thinking this week myself.
But I need you. How am I supposed to live without you? I promise to never be mean to you ever again.
Then just sign the divorce papers and send them off. That would be the nicest thing you could do for me.
No, anything but that, please.
I'm not going to look after you anymore. You want your mommy? Well, now she's living with you. I need a man who isn't afraid to take care of himself and his partner. Now, goodbye. After that, something snapped in Phil, and he finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. I actually never got along with Phil's mother, so when she heard we were splitting up, she was just overjoyed. I'll admit that when we first met, I thought that Phil being a mama's boy made him somewhat cute and vulnerable. Little did I realize that it was a cover for deeper personal issues that he had yet to work through. Even after the divorce, I still received texts from him begging me to save him from his mother, but I merely ignored them. It's true, Phil never cheated or hit me, but I knew that our marriage was never going to work out. Perhaps there's a lesson in here about being careful what you wish for, or not taking people for granted. But I think the most important lesson here is to not think that being more in touch with your feelings exempts you from being responsible for acting on them without thinking.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.